Good morning, everybody, and happy Easter. We have Terry Allen with us today, and he's going to sing our opening song. Please rise and join in.
So as you know, I'll sing, oh, happy day, and you'll go, oh, happy, right? Oh, happy day, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, all my sins away. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, oh, happy day. That's how it goes. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, oh, happy day, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, all my dirty sins away. He taught me how to watch and pray, and live rejoicing every day, oh, every day, oh, happy day, where Jesus was, my sins away. Oh, happy day, how to watch and pray, to watch and pray, and live rejoicing every day, oh every day, oh happy day, oh happy day, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, all my sins away, all my sins away. It's a good start.
Say good morning, everybody. Yes. Yeah, I'll give you a... Let's find our seats again. All right. Good morning, everyone. I am filling in for Sean this morning. He has a back injury, and he will not be back until April 9th, until he's had a doctor's appointment to know how his health journey continues. So, if not everything goes smoothly this morning, bear with us, all right? We have this picture from Donna Russell that she took on a spring hike. Isn't that beautiful? Happy Easter. And thank you to everyone for providing us with ears. It was yours, right? See, already blinking. This bodes well. So, we at Unity welcome everyone, and if you are a visitor for the first time today, we have blue cards outside in the foyer that you can fill out, and we would love to have your information and get in touch with you. Today is Celebration Sunday. We're the first Sunday of April. So we've got quite a few things going on today. We've got Easter, we've got new member recognition, we've got Celebration Sunday. So just to let you know, we are going to skip prayer and gratitudes for today so that we are not here for 2 hours. We had to find some place to cut. Yes. We'll have a prayer announcement. I just wanted to let you know that with all the changes, but we will talk about that in a minute. So does anyone have a birthday or anniversary that they wish to share with us? Trina.
not my birthday, but my granddaughter is turning 6 on the 15th.
Ah. We celebrate that with you. Lori.
I have lots of April birthdays to celebrate in my family. My granddaughter turned 8 on April 2nd. My sister's birthday was April 3rd. Mark's birthday is April 15th, and Lena's birthday is April 19th. And both our moms had birthdays in April, so.
Wonderful. Happy birthday.
Marcia,
Jeremy.
Hi, my birthday is April 7th.
Happy birthday. Anyone else? Amanda Sue. Here, let me just.
We've got both of our daughters' birthdays are in April. So we've got the 15-year-old turning 15 on the 15th, her golden birthday. And then the oldest is turning 19 on the 20th.
Wonderful. And we celebrate that with your family too. Anyone else? Anniversaries? Anything? Marcia?
Oh, it's my late father's birthday this month.
And what day was it?
The tax day, April 15th.
Oh. So one good thing and one not so good thing on April. Carrie.
In honor of Sean, I would note that today is the anniversary in advance by about 50 years of the world attaining warp capacity.
World?
Warp capacity.
Oh, warp
From the
capacity.
world of Star Trek.
Yes. Sean, if you're watching, that was for you. Okay. And that reminds me, I've been texting with him, so I should turn off my phone. Okay, so what do we have next? We would also like to acknowledge all the volunteers that are always helping us. So if you would raise your hand or stand, please, and so we can see all of you who come to Family Food Center, who come to Highway Cleanup, who help us with setup, with, all the different prayer team. Yes.
Wait a minute, Matt, you get to stand up.
PAs, greeters,
Electricians.
electricians, whoever has been helping us, we want to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for all that you do for us. We are based on volunteers, and we truly could not be here without you. This month's calendar sponsor is Bruce and Bonnie. They donated this picture. And I believe they are still in Costa Rica, coming back soon. So thank you, Bruce and Bonnie. And the picture is Lady Bird's blue bonnet. Okay, the problem with having ears here, I can't put my reading glasses on top at the same time. So, and let's see, who's next? Our bank balance. So as you can see, last time when Sean was talking about it, our income was quite a bit down. Then we paid our bills. Now this week we're on the uptrend again. And for announcements. So nothing's changed on the wish list, but if you'd like to donate anything, you can just scan the QR code. It is on our newsletter that usually comes out, and so you can find out about those items there. We have the needs board outside. We still have quite a few items we need, so if you would please go check that out after the service and see whether you can help us with anything. And if you can, please take the card from the needs and move it to fulfilled so that we don't have another person also shopping for the same thing. We have our Unity Coffee Hour this coming Wednesday at Campus Coffee Bean right across from here at 9:30. The prayer team is still holding the book study. We are reading the 5 principles. So we are studying our Unity 5 principles each week we're reading about one principle, and we've had really great conversations. So please come join us and bring your own lunch if you'd like to join. I mean, you don't have to eat, but if you'd like to, because we're meeting at 11:30, you might be hungry. Blood drive. So we've got the blood drive today. The blood, I keep calling it the blood-mobile, but it might not be the right word. The van is outside across the parking lot. You can't miss it. It's huge. So please, if you can, go donate. Maybe you've already made an appointment, but they also take just people who are walking in. Bunko. Sandra, would you like to say anything about it?
Absolutely. This is our first fundraiser. It is a bunco game. It's from 6 to 9. It is at our home. So I do have 6 spots that are open. It is $20 to play. $10 of that goes directly to Unity, and then the other goes into the prize fund, so you could actually walk away a winner. So if you're interested, I do have invitations with the address on there and my phone number if you have any questions. But we're looking forward to playing and hopefully being able to do this monthly. Thank you.
Perfect. And we've got a sign up for the bunco out there as well. Flagstaff Family Food Center is coming up in Monday a week from now. We also have a sign up. If you would like to volunteer, please let us know. The Flagstaff Symphony Orchestra, the group rate, if you'd like to take advantage of that, we have 2 tickets left. So if you're interested, please also sign up. You can also talk to Steve. Steve, raise your hand so everybody knows. He's organizing it, so you can get more information from Steve. The annual meeting is coming up, and that's why we have lots of new members this week. We'll talk about that in a minute. If you are interested in hearing how Unity is doing, you'll find out a lot more details on that meeting. We hold it always once a year at after service, and only members can vote. So just know you need to have a membership here for you to have a vote, but that does not mean you can't attend and just even hear the information. It's open to anyone. And if you'd like to advertise a local business, here are the rates. And we've had quite a few companies now that are part of our community. So thank you for everyone who's sponsoring this. We are a community that's based on prayer. And you can get help praying in many different ways with us. You can either call the 1-800 number. You can leave a prayer request. There's sheets by the box. Michael, thank you for pointing at it. Over there, you can leave. You don't have to leave your name. You can leave anonymous prayers. Or you can call the center at the main phone number and leave your prayer request. And now for opening prayer, we have Amanda Suit. Here. No, take all this.
All right, let's begin in prayer if you'll join me. Let's start by taking a nice, deep, cleansing breath. And release. And this Easter morning, in this time of prayer, we settle into the knowing that the one presence and one power is here now. We turn our thoughts heavenward to the infinite good, the infallible love, the eternal life that is the divine. We are grateful each and every day, but especially this day, this Easter morning when we are reminded of the strength, the power, the life of Spirit within us. May we have ears to hear, eyes to see, and all that we need. May we express the love within us through thought, word, and deed. So it is, and so we let it be. Amen. Go ahead.
Now, we are going to start. Let's see, is this working? We are going to do the new member celebration with Reverend Amanda Sue and
Marilyn.
Marilyn. Do you have a mic or?
So we are going to recognize the new members who have said yes to officially joining the community Unity of Flagstaff. And Unity Minister Eric Butterworth once talked about Unity membership, and he said that you don't join Unity to belong to an organization. You join Unity to join a movement and an evolution of consciousness. So that is what we welcome our new members into today. I'll take those from you. Marilyn will call you up one by one, and go ahead and come on up when she calls you, and we'll just have you line up right over here and stay up here with us until the community gets a chance to bless you.
I think this is on? It
Yes,
is.
you are.
Matt Jarmer.
Congratulations.
And Linda Jarmer.
Congratulations. Here's your book.
Hayden Reed. Julie Schaefer. Lori Morse. Mark Perrin. Michelle Dooley is missing from us, but I think you're out there in TV land. Hi, Michelle, and congratulations. Karen Galbraith. William, or as we know him, Bill Fessinelli. That's fine. And his beautiful wife,
Good
Diane.
one to you.
And that's it.
All right. So now if you all will join me, the words are going to pop up on the screen, and we are going to bless our new members. Together, we love you, we bless you, and we behold the Christ in you. And you may be seated. Oh, let me move this.
Is that significant?
I didn't sign. Let me sign you in.
Woohoo! Yay! Get this out of your way.
It's okay, I put somebody in for tomorrow, too.
There were nowhere near enough
Keeping track of all the parts here. Let's say unity principle number 5 together. It is not enough to understand spiritual teachings. We must live the truth we know. And the short version is, live the truth you know. And now I would like to invite Amanda Sue up for our guest speaker today.
Thank you. We are going to begin in meditation. So So if you will join me in just taking a moment to settle into your chair, feeling your feet on the floor, your back rested, shoulders relaxed, hands open and receptive. And let's take another one of those deep cleansing breaths together. As we settle into this space and this moment, allowing our breath to calm us, body, heart, and mind, I invite you to imagine yourself sitting on a hill, looking out over the rolling hills and the trees, towards the sun as it just begins to peek over the horizon. Notice the colors of warmth, yellows, pinks, and reds that are projected into the sky as the sun starts to make its way. Keeping your breath as your anchor, relaxing into this moment. And the dependability of this sunrise. Every morning, without fail, it is something you can count on, something you can trust, something you know will happen. As the sun continues its ascent, its rays reach your face and warm your skin. You close your eyes and feel that glow, that heat warm you. And like a plant, the warmth of that sun helps you unfurl, to take a fuller breath, to awaken. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to accomplish to make yourself worthy of this light. It simply is, and it shines on you no matter what. So on your next inhale, I invite you to draw in those beautiful sun rays into your body. Allow the warmth and light of the sun nourish every cell, every organ, to warm you and nourish you from the inside out. And we say thank you. Thank you to the light that shines each and every day around us and within us. This and every day we let our light shine. We are warmed and uplifted, empowered and encouraged with a steadfast faith that knows, just as the sun rises in the eastern sky every morning, so too is that light of God within us. And so we say again, thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, great mystery. Thank you, the light of the world. If you'd like, you can begin to roll your shoulders and your neck. Begin to rub your hands on your thighs and come back to this moment. Or you can remain with eyes closed or gaze lowered as Terry leads us in song.
has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the word. Sweet the rains do fall, sun lit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where his feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden's all play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world.
Little Cat Stevens on this Easter morning. Thank you, Terry. You know, Easter has always been one of my favorites as far as holidays go. I loved as a kid all the preparation for it, like all the pastel colors and decorating the eggs and Peeps in the grocery store. Though I will say they do not taste as good now as they did when I was a kid. I don't know if they've changed their recipe or maybe my taste buds have just changed. And in a way, it's kind of like Christmas, right? Because you go to bed the night before, and then you wake up in the morning, and there was always an Easter basket waiting outside my door with all sorts of goodies and treats in it. And I always got a new dress for Easter, too. So lots of things to love about Easter. And then as I got older, and as I started down my spiritual path and started maturing in that way, I started to really understand the true meaning and message and lesson of Easter, and that made me love it just that much more. Because really the Easter story is the ultimate story of transformation. And for me, that's the good stuff. that spiritual transformation, being born anew. So what we're going to do today is I want to share with you all the unity perspective of the Easter story. And so we are going to go through some metaphysics. Now, metaphysics means quite literally meta, beyond or above, physics, the physical. So metaphysics is beyond the physical. And this is the way that unity looks at the Bible as a whole. And so I'm going to give you a little introduction or maybe a refresher for some of you of how unity shares this story. So first to start the groundwork, I want to talk about this concept of oneness. Have you all heard about this concept, oneness? You've heard that term before, right? So oneness is essentially our first principle in unity, that there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. Oneness is essentially saying that though things may appear like we are separate people, that everything has its own container, that everything is separate, in truth, there is no separation. That we all arise from the same source, we are all made of the same stuff, that from a spiritual perspective, we are all one. It's kind of hard to wrap your mind around a little bit, right? Because it appears that we're distant, that we're separate, but really oneness is the truth that unity teaches. That God, the divine spirit, is the only truth, the only real power in the universe. And that God is not a static being then, who's sitting out there looking down. But God is right here within us, expressing as us. Jesus said, I am in the Father, and the Father is in me. Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within you. He spoke of this oneness. Which leads me to the second principle of unity, which is that each of us has within us that spark of the divine, that spiritual essence, that is the truth of who we are. You've heard the saying, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Who's heard that before? Yeah. So if we're spiritual beings having a human experience, it's almost like, and if we're all one, but everything appears separate, it's almost like we've forgotten, isn't it? Like we've forgotten the truth. And so in unity, we look to Jesus not as the exception, the one man who was also divine. We look at Jesus as our way shower. Not a person to be worshipped, but someone to be followed. Someone who made that journey from the illusion of separation, from being completely identified with just this one life and what's happening in this physical world, journeying back to that conscious awareness of his inner divinity, of his oneness with God and with all else. So we see Jesus as our way shower. And this inner divine essence, this inner divinity, this truth of who we are, that same thing that was in Jesus is in us, and in unity we often call that the Christ. So when we say Jesus Christ, Christ is not Jesus' last name, right? Christ is a title. And in unity we see that title, the Christ, as that divine essence, and the same one that was in Jesus is in me and in each of you. And so speaking as the Christ, speaking from this consciousness is when Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these. He never meant to be a person who was worshipped, but somebody who was followed. Let me show you the way. Come with me, follow me, do as I do, and you will do even greater things than what I have done. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. Jesus said, you are the light of the world. So let's lay that aside for a moment. This idea, maybe a radical idea to some of you, that we are all one, that we are all divine, that Spirit of God that was in Jesus is in us. Let's just set that. And let me ask you a different question. How many of you would say that at some point in your life you have changed? Okay. Would any of you say that I can look back at a time in my life, and it's almost like remembering who I was then and looking at who I am now, it's almost like I'm a different person. Anybody say that's true for them? Yeah. How many of you would say that you have experienced some type of awakening in your life? Yeah. You know, we can look at this idea of awakening, of returning to that divinity within us, of remembering who and what we truly are. We can look at that as the center point. And in unity, we see all of the different religions and all of the different spiritual traditions as like spokes on a wheel, or different pathways that try to lead you to that center point. But that center point is the same. It's that recognition of spiritual truth, an awakening, if you will. And so the unity path, because unity is just one of those pathways, one of those spokes to that center, the unity path is all about the transformation of consciousness. Awakening through understanding, working with, and exercising the powers of our mind. You know, in unity, and in a lot of spiritual traditions, we say that we are fully human and fully divine, that we are both. But if you think back about your life, and especially your early life, we spent a lot more time being taught how to be human than how to be spiritual, didn't we? All growing up, we're taught all these lessons, and our parents teach us all these things, and we learn a whole lot just by watching and observing about the way the world works and how things are and what's expected of us and what's right and what's wrong. And these are all human ideas that we just absorb. Maybe some of us still have those little sayings from their parents that just stick in your mind, like, money doesn't grow on trees. Or one of my dad's favorites, under-promise and over-deliver. And as we grow older, we find that we start to have new experiences. We start to question some of the things that we were taught and accepted as true from a young age, don't we? And we might find that there's some things that they just don't fit anymore. I'm just going to let go of this. I don't want to inherit and continue on this consciousness that I inherited. I want to let that go. Other ideas we hold on to. Other ideas we say, you know what, I think this is a good idea. I think this has worked for the person who taught it for me. I think it'll work for me. And we turn those ideas into foundational beliefs that we then build our life on, that we put our identity around. Like, I'm a hard worker. Right? Maybe we build our identity around that my job is the most important work that I can do. Maybe we build an identity around what it means to be a good mother or a good friend. But these are all, don't you see, just ideas. They all begin in our consciousness. And yet they shape our identity, they shape our choices, they shape our life. So unity teaches that mind, capital M mind, is the cause. That God is what we sometimes call divine mind, the original cause. That everything that exists, from me and you, this planet, the universe, the sun, and all the galaxies, everything that exists began as an idea in the mind of God. That life came into being through that sacred consciousness. And that as spiritual beings having a human experience, that is the same way in which we create. And we see that to be true in our everyday lives, don't we? Before we can move into our dream house, we have to have an idea of what our dream house is. Before we can create anything new, we have to first have that idea in mind. And the human mind is amazing and powerful. And we see that life happens from within out, from our minds outward, anytime your eyes are open. Because all of us have about right here a blind spot in your vision. But instead of just seeing an empty hole, your mind is filling in the gaps and projecting it into your vision. What better example is there of the fact that what begins in our mind we see out there? And the human mind is so powerful. You've heard about the placebo effect, right? That you can be given a sugar pill, but if you believe that that pill is going to make you feel better, you will physiologically feel better because you believe it is possible. Or what about that Henry Ford quote? Whether you believe you can or believe you can't, you're right. I mean, it is our imagination is this spiritual power. It allows us to create. It's how we bring new things into being. I mean, it is the human mind that somehow took a 2,000-year-old Easter story and turned it into bunny rabbits who lay chocolate eggs. I mean, how did we do that but through the power of our imagination? Jesus said, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. So our consciousness is important. This is the unity path, is through our consciousness. And throughout life, we prune these old and unhelpful beliefs and ideas. We find a new perspective. We try on something new. We search for new ways of being and thinking that maybe bear better fruit than the way we've been doing it before. And in doing so, we change. When you think back about that moment in your past where you would say, I'm a different person now than I was back then, probably a lot has changed about the way you think, about what you believe, about how you live. So in pruning out these ideas, we change and we see things differently. Maybe you've even found yourself saying, oh, I remember back then when I thought I had it all figured out. But now I know, right? Now I know just how much I didn't know. I was blind, but now I see. I was asleep, and now I am awake. I was dead, and now I live. Throughout his ministry, Jesus challenged his disciples not to be identified with things like our current circumstances, our social standing, approval, but to see with new eyes, to hear with new ears, to wake up to the truth of the divine within them, to wake up to that truth and to live from it. Jesus said, unless a kernel of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it remains only a single seed. But if it dies, it produces many seeds. Sometimes we have to die to our old ways. We have to release and let go of the old beliefs that have shaped our experience so that we can step into a new understanding. Which brings me to Easter Sunday and the resurrection story. Easter Sunday is a celebration of the divine life that flows through each and every one of us. It is a celebration of the spiritual power to overcome all things. That we are not defined by circumstances or our past or our upbringing or what was done to us or the mistakes that we made. That each and every day, that power within us is active and ready to transform us and transform our lives from the inside out. You know the Easter story. Jesus was crucified and died. He was laid into a tomb, and on the third day, he rose again. Sometimes I feel like we're so used to hearing the story, we know it so well, that it's completely lost its shock value. So let's take a second to just kind of suspend what we think we know. Suspend whatever stuff we've got around the story. suspend our skepticism just for a moment. Okay? And think about this. Humanity, we've done a whole lot of really cool stuff through our own ingenuity, through our own intellect, through our own imagination, haven't we? I mean, there are things that were huge problems 2,000 years ago that aren't a big deal at all anymore. Our crops are not dependent on the weather because we have irrigation and plumbing and can water them. In Jesus' time, they would have loved that. Leprosy, I'm pretty sure, is eradicated. Haven't heard about it in a while. That was a big deal for them. So all of these things that were huge deals 2,000 years ago, we have overcome. We have transcended. We have found human solutions to a lot of physical, material problems, right? And it goes beyond even what they could imagine 2,000 years ago. Right now, we've got astronauts on the way to the moon. Isn't it amazing what we have done as a species, as a collective? And yet, then and now, there's still one thing that we haven't solved. One huge, pressing issue that we would like to solve and conquer that we haven't, and that is death. We found ways to delay it. We found ways to make it look a little better. We found ways to make it a little more peaceful, but we have not conquered death, even all these years later. So when you think about 2,000 years ago, can you think of a single thing in human experience that would be more impossible to overcome than death itself? So now think about the story. Just at a base level, the story of resurrection is a story that even that unavoidable thing that you think is impossible to overcome, even that pales in the face of spiritual strength and spiritual power. Is a story of the ultimate overcoming, a demonstration that the spiritual truth transcends and is greater than any physical, material truth. That even what is seen as the ultimate threat is nothing compared to the power of God within you. That is the story that the gospel is trying to tell. When we hear Christians talk about the good news, the celebration of Easter, He is risen, our sins have been washed away, this is what we're talking about. That the God who is in Jesus is in you. And it is greater than any perceived obstacle you could possibly face in your entire life, even death. You have within you the power to transform and change and be resurrected and see things new, to awaken. You have the power to let go of those old stories that keep you stuck. You have the power to release the narrative of this narrow vision you have for who you are and what you're capable of. You have the power to rise above circumstances, to choose love over fear, to choose abundance over lack, to face any challenge and rise above it. The resurrection story is a story of awakening. Awakening to a spiritual truth, and we celebrate it this Easter because it is our story too. We've all had our crucifixion moments. The pain and the struggle, they're hard. But those crucifixion moments often result in the crossing out, the deletion, the release of some old way of being, some old story. And like wheat in the field, that crucifixion is necessary for us to let go so that something new can grow in its place. The tomb, that's our hallway experience that we talked about a couple weeks ago. That in between time when we've let go of something that no longer serves us, but we don't yet know what comes next. A time of waiting, but also a time of inner preparation. And then comes the resurrection. The resurrection is our hope. like waking from a dream. That old consciousness just falls away, and it's like our eyes are opened for the very first time. That is the power and the hope and the story of the resurrection, that we are resurrected into a new understanding of our spiritual nature, of God within us. So, and again and again and again and again, sometimes more times than we wish, we go through this cycle. But again and again and again, we rise. Again and again, we die to the old and wake up to the new. Jesus is our way shower. We follow his path, not just in the physical and the literal, but the spiritual, higher level path that he laid out for us, the path towards that embodiment and knowing of the truth of us. He points the path to our Christ self, to our divinity, to the power of God within you. And that is the story of Easter according to Unity. So it is.
This life you speak of is manifesting itself in this taxi cab driver of which I speak. Oh, and it's called Taxi Cab Driver, not Peace Be Still. We have a couple emails that crossed. Peace Be Still would have been good too. I met a taxi cab driver on the way to the beach. He offered me an apple or a pear or a peach, but I had things on my mind that wasn't too kind. I told him to get moving, I was running behind. Yeah, never mind. I couldn't help but notice as he drove across town, really didn't let the traffic jams bring him down. He whistled while he worked, he smiled and he waved. I had a close encounter with the dreamer that day. Hey, hey. I met an airplane pilot on the way to DC, talking in the coffee shop about being free. He said it was something when he learned how to fly. Just him and an old biplane and nothing but sky. My. Well, he said, I gotta go, with a gleam in his eye. My passengers are boarding, and he straightened his tie. With a mutual salute, we went our own way. I had another close encounter with a dreamer that day. Hey, hey. There's something about a man who holds his head up, no matter what's a-comin' around the bend. He knows where he's going, and he knows what it takes to get there. Never really tried that hard to find the reason for the season or the tie that binds. But I'm thinking it's time. I met a guitar player with a story to tell. His tip jar was full, he was doing well. Standing on the corner where the tourists walk, I saw a homeless fella stop and talk. And then he cried. When the crowds had stopped and the timing was right. He played a song he wrote about seeing the light, when long ago he had lost his way. I had another close encounter with a dreamer that day. Hey, hey. There's something about a man who holds his head up, no matter what's a-coming around the bend. He knows where he's going, and he knows what it takes to get there. I never really tried that hard to find the reason for the season or the tie that binds, but I'm thinking it's time. And when you find the one who feeds your soul, he motivates and drives your goals. Walls will come, they always do, but there's a few who will break through. And they're the ones who've seen light. They press on through till they get it right. Obstacles will come their way. They start again with each new day. There's something about a man who holds his head up, no matter what's coming around the bend. He knows where he's going, and he knows what it takes to get there. I never really tried that hard to find the reason for the season or the tie that binds, but I'm thinking it's time. Oh, I never really tried that hard to find the reason for the season or the tie that binds, but I'm thinking it's time. Yeah, I'm thinking it's time. Now I know it's my time.
Thank you. Okay, we are going to prepare for our celebration of abundance. River, would you come help me? We are first, I guess we don't have a sign for it, you know? We are going to do Noisy Can. If you want to go and hand it out on this side, I'll start handing it around. If you have any pennies and coins you would like to donate, we are going to give the jars around. Yeah, and then we'll also come around with the baskets. But let's have the baskets come up for a minute. Marilyn, will you join us, please? Let's prepare for our celebration of abundance.
Yeah. Our board consciousness. Would you say it with me? Abundance. We are an abundant and thriving community. And our second board consciousness is for our new minister. If you'll say this, we are an attracting the perfect new minister for Unity of Flagstaff, who leads and inspires us into our next phase of spiritual growth and service. We release our limitation and give from abundance. We are abundant. Thank you, Spirit.
So, yes, please go forth. That was... So we have different ways to give. You can give by cash or check. you can give by Zelle, and this is our QR code that's also in our newsletter. Sean loves it if he's going to the mailbox and actually finds some checks in there. In our P.O. box, you can give us your tax refund if you don't need it. And our investment account is now ready, and if you would like to donate towards the investment account, you can send an email. Sean is still answering emails on the phone, so if you would like to send him an email, that's office@unity.org. So, let's bless all this bounty together. Thank you for this bounty. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the good we do and will do. We are joy-filled, and so it is. So, thank you for this, and let's reprise we're going to sing our opening song once again together if you want to get a rise.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. When Jesus was. All my sins away. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day when Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, all my dirty sins away. He taught me how to watch and pray, watch and pray, and live rejoicing every day, oh every day, oh happy day, oh happy day. When Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, my sins away. He taught me how to watch and pray, to watch and pray, and live rejoicing every day, every day. Oh, happy day, oh, happy day, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, when Jesus was, all my sins away, all my sins away.
Thank you, Terry. And just before we do our blessing, please join us to celebrate the new members. We have all kinds of goodies over here, so please stay for a few minutes.
And I would like to invite up a very special guest, the Easter Bunny, Miss River. And you may or may not know, but in Unikids and Uniteens and YOU, the kids ministry, they learn special hand signals that go with our prayer of protection. So River is going to lead us in the prayer for protection today and show us what it is. So feel free to follow along with her, all right? All right, ready? The light of God surrounds us. The light. The love of God enfolds us. Claim the love. The power of God protects us. Claim the power. The presence of God watches over us. Claim the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Great job.
Have a wonderful Easter and have a great week.